The muscle up is an intermediate to advanced calisthenics skill that combines a pull-up and a straight bar dip with a smooth transition and needs a serious amount of upper body strength for learning this skill. In this video, we'll go over the necessary progressions, technique tips, and basic exercises to unlock your first muscle up. To start off, there are different kinds of muscle ups and each has its unique characteristics that will help you unlock different goals in your fitness journey. The dynamic muscle up doesn't require as much strength as the regular muscle up because it uses a lot of momentum, and that's why it's also used a lot in freestyle calisthenics. Unlike the regular muscle up, it provides great flow on the bar. The kipping muscle up is a combination of a regular and a dynamic muscle up. When you pull up, you use your knees to kick back down using a bit of momentum to get over the bar. The slow muscle up requires a lot of strength in your bicep tendons and wrist flexibility. Now that you know the different kinds of muscle ups, let's get back to the tutorial and focus on learning the regular muscle up. These requirements will help you get the overall strength you need for your first muscle up. A central part of the muscle up is the pulling movement at the beginning. You should be able to do at least 10 pull-ups with perfect form before learning the muscle up. Straight bar dips are also a very important part of the muscle up, and getting your straight bar dips up to 15 plus reps will help you with the last part of the muscle up. When learning the muscle up, you will be constantly in touch with the high bar. That's why you should be able to hang for at least 20 seconds, preferably in an L-sit position, before learning the muscle up. You don't necessarily have to be able to hang in an L-sit position, but make sure that you have a solid amount of grip strength. Step 1. The power button. Go to a high bar and with one foot on the ground, bring the other one back and kick forward as much as you can. Look at the ground and check how far you can kick forward with your legs. Then you take a small item and place it at the exact same spot. This will be your power button, so every time you move forward, imagine that you're trying to push that button with your feet. This exercise will make sure that your body can snap back and start the muscle up movement. Notice that my shoulders are wide open when doing the magic button, so that my entire body bounces back. Step 2. Explosive pull. After doing the power button, tuck your legs in an L-sit position and try to pull yourself up with straight arms as high as you can. This exercise will give you the explosive strength you need to get on top of the bar. A common mistake is that people bend their arms during the explosive pull, which will prevent them from gaining more height. Another mistake that people do a lot is that they simply forget about the power button. It's way harder to pull up explosively without the power button because you are starting in a dead hang position. Step number 3. Lay over the bar. Take a deep breath, grip the bar firmly with both hands and combine step 1 and 2 to get your chest over the bar. This is the last and most technical step of the muscle up. Don't get frustrated if you can't do it at the beginning, your body still needs to adapt to the movement. After regularly practicing this step, you'll be able to unlock your first muscle up. After many attempts, your hands are definitely gonna get sweaty, especially if you're using a metal bar to practice. Instead of slipping from the bar, you can invest in chalk that will give you a better grip. The chalk will stop your hands from getting any sweatier and will give you a better grip on the bar so that you can keep practicing. We will leave a link down in the description in case you're interested for buying chalk. Once your hands aren't slippery anymore, you can keep practicing until you hit your first muscle up. Now let's focus on the details of the muscle up so you can fully understand the technique. The most important technique part of the muscle up is that you pull yourself up in a C motion to get around and over the bar. You should not pull straight up like when doing a pull-up. That will only make you hit the bar instead of going around it. It's also very important that you focus on the transition and the wrist rotation of the muscle up. To get a better understanding for this, go to a low bar and practice the wrist rotation. When you jump up, really try to focus on your wrists and let them rotate around the bar. A common mistake is the so-called chicken wing muscle up, where you neither use the C motion technique mentioned earlier and you don't focus on the wrist rotation. Really focus on the technique, otherwise your muscle up will not be clean. In your muscle up training, really go to a low bar and practice the wrist rotation so your brain can understand it properly. Once you fully understand the technique of the muscle-up, you can move to technique exercises like the negative muscle-up. Start in the top position of a muscle-up and slowly lower yourself down to a hanging position. The slower you do this exercise, the more difficult it will be. In time, your muscle and connective tissue will become used to this movement, so you will have no problem to execute the technique perfectly. Another technique exercise is the jumping muscle-up. Go to a middle bar, and with your feet still on the ground, grab the bar with both hands. You're then going to jump up as if you're doing an actual muscle-up and finish the movement. That way, your body will get used to what it is like to actually do a muscle-up. Now let's look at some of the basic exercises you need to train to perfection to learn your first muscle-up. Pull-ups are a very important part of muscle-up training. If you don't maintain perfect form, it will really slow down your muscle-up progress. The same of course counts for straight bar dips. Really take the time and train these basics to perfection so that you can do them easily. A great exercise for building up upper body strength and learning the correct technique is the assisted muscle-up. Get yourself some resistance bands, wrap them around the bar, and with the resistance bands assisting you, try your first muscle-up. The resistance band will make the exercise easier by taking away a bit of your body weight. Once you're comfortable with doing a couple of reps, switch to a lighter resistance band. If you're interested in buying resistance bands but don't know where, we'll leave a link in the description. Explosive pull-ups are a great exercise to build up the necessary upper body strength you need to learn your first muscle-up. Start in a hanging position and basically do a normal pull-up, but as explosively as you can. When you're at the top of the pull-up, let go with your hands for a split second, re-grab the bar, and repeat the exercise. Now that you know everything you need, let's go over a short recap. Before starting to learn the muscle-up, make sure you can do at least 10 pull-ups with perfect form, and at least 10 to 15 straight bar dips with full range of motion. Practice these basics so you can do them with ease, and also include some hanging exercises because grip strength is very important. Train the power button so that you will have the necessary kickstart for the muscle-up. After that, pull back explosively as high as you can and lean over the bar to complete the muscle-up movement. Make sure that you understand the technique of the muscle-up, which is the C motion and the necessary wrist rotation in the transition of the muscle-up. Focus on the basics and practice them until you can execute them perfectly, otherwise you can get easily frustrated and even give up in learning the muscle-up. Use resistance bands to understand the correct pulling motion of the muscle-up, and don't forget to practice your explosive pull-ups so that you have enough pulling strength to get on top of the bar. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more calisthenics tutorials.